Okay, now that we fixed the audio, now
Round two.
Yeah, we can try this whole thing again.
Yeah. And we can't use any of the stuff that we talked about earlier.
It's okay, because I've already forgotten what we were talking about. I immediately was focusing on the problem at hand, and now I have no idea where we are.
And you know what that means? Welcome
To the Rubber Duck
Syndicate.
Almost got it.
Because we have no idea where we're going to go with this, but you're going to be along for a journey because you enjoyed. Because we are pretty. Yes.
I prefer fashionably beautiful. Actually, I don't, because I'm not fashionable as fuck anymore.
No.
Yeah, I gave a damn about fashion for about a year or so when I lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And I looked pretty good, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
But I cannot afford to remain fashionable. So,
yeah, it is.
Back to t-shirts.
It is pretty expensive, but you can go the route that, well, like some people do is you got the very fashionable people that go to like Goodwills and like thrift stores and...
I love thrift stores and stuff, but Charlotte has become not such a great place for them. The problem is we do still have a handful of thrift shops, which are in like certain neighborhoods, so you can occasionally find some good stuff there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we are overrun by vintage shops, which are people that go to thrift shops before me and get all the cool stuff and then take it back to their shops and mark it up.
Yeah, there should be no reason why. I understand people want to make a profit. They want to make a living. Why the fuck just fuck over everyone?
Well, because that's the way capitalism works.
Yeah,
and
no.
Boy, isn't this a great system?
It is. It's just I'm still waiting for that trickle down. It's bound to tip over at some point. It's been.
Ronald Reagan promised us, and
I know.
if we can't trust Ronald Reagan, who can we trust?
I know. Like, that's so. It's what's also really sad, or not sad. Kind of. It's very weird to me that, and they've been doing studies on this. What some people don't know what the trickle down system was. They never heard it in their life. Well, like, yeah, I understand that people in their like younger people.
Well, it wasn't something that the people needed to know about. It was basically something sold to the the higher ups and the voters. Oh yeah, this is great. So you can vote like an absolute bastard, but ultimately you'll be helping people. So you can feel good about being an absolute bastard.
Yeah, and I just mean the fact of like, okay, they're trickle down economy. What we're talking about, like, oh yeah, these companies are going to make so much money, but it's going to trickle down to like, yeah, they sold you on it, people bought into it, blah blah blah, whatever. It happened. We can't change it. But the fact of like, say, there are people that are say younger people. Never heard of it, never understood it, but I understand that because it's not something that was really taught to them in school. But there's also people that are our age or around that time period that have no idea what that was. And we've had this kind of discussion before where we had someone on our improv team that did not know what Chernobyl was.
Now, in her defense, she was what, early 20s?
She's early 20s, but that's also something that was devastating.
Well, yeah, but now to play devil's advocate, we have had quite a lot of devastating crap happen, since Chernobyl.
True.
And a lot of it has taken up the news cycle. I mean, basically, I think we when we were growing up, we had we knew about Chernobyl, and we had the Challenger disaster happen.
Yes.
While we were in school, and then I guess relatively stable and, free of horrible catastrophe until 9/11.
True.
And that's pretty much set the tone for generations.
Yeah. Which you think about it, it's like terrible because people have done the timeline of, because essentially both you and I land in the, I guess, elder millennials.
Technically, I think you're a couple years behind me, but I am part of that mysterious generation that has never had an agreed-upon name. So I'm not Gen X, I'm not Gen Y, but I'm not a millennial. I'm between, I'm between Gen Y and millennial. So there's only like 3 years.
No, you're between Gen X and Gen. No, hold on, what is it? It's like you're between Gen X and millennial.
Yes, but somewhere, yeah. But it's really it's only 3 or 4 years, and I have no idea why we got shunted off to the side of the labeling system.
They people try to correct it, and essentially, like Gen X ends at, I think at like 70, I think 78, 79, and then millennials are supposed to start like at.
What happened to Gen Y? I thought we had a Gen Y.
I don't know where it's.
I thought Gen Y was next, and then millennials were like mid to late 80s.
It was like
Maybe I'm making up Gen Y. Maybe I'm just hallucinating this whole thing.
possibly everyone's coming with different scenarios for different people, but it's just all they just all want to put it like into a group to start blaming people for whatever it is. Because I've been, folks, you want to know how much it sucks to be blamed for everything ever since I was a teen. Like, oh, millennials are ruining this. Millennials are ruining this. Millennials. I was like,
So you are officially a millennial?
yes, I'm officially like a very
You're,
elder millennial.
you're one of the first millennials.
Yeah, like one of the first, like within like a couple of years, because I think officially millennials supposed to start at like in '82 from there, depending on where you read it at. But like I'm very comfortably in that elder millennial part. But just the fact of getting blamed for everything, they're like millennials are getting jobs, millennials are buying diamonds, millennials are buying houses, like.
It's because the boomers took all the fucking money.
And that, like that's, and they're still trying to blame us, like say, still now in the, 2025. Like, but ever since like the early 2000s, it's always millennials are terrible at this, millennials are terrible at this. It's like, I was like, all right. So they'll do a story, be like, oh, millennials don't know how to change a tire. Okay, fine, we'll take that. Who was supposed to teach us?
Well, the one thing that I'm willing to side with millennials on pretty much everything, on all these things that they're getting blamed for, because most of it is like they're responding to absolutely horrible conditions.
Yeah.
So we can't change a tire because we can't afford a car. Why would we ever learn to change a tire?
But also,
but the millennials were also the first generation. Well, actually, no. There are some people in my generation that I can point out specifically, but I won't because I'm a nice guy. Basically, the fear of answering the phone. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that's like you didn't have to be taught how to answer the phone. You
just
you know what a phone is. Everyone has a phone, but now we've got to the point where if you do anything other than text somebody or send them a message through one of the apps, if you actually use your phone to call somebody, that scares them.
I understand. I've seen it before.
So like rattlesnakes, okay, spiders, all right. Phone calls, no.
And I what, that was actually going to bring up something I was going to talk about, I was going to call it a boomer take. So like I'm assuming that you're a boomer take. You're like, okay, why aren't people answering their phones? I can get behind that. I understand it. Like seeing people that are just scared to like pick up the phone and be like, because there's bill collectors, scam calls.
I get conflict avoidance, but if I'm in your phone number, if you know it's me calling and you know me personally and you don't answer the phone because talking on the phone makes you uncomfortable, I don't know how to respond to that with anything other than disdain.
Yes, and I think what makes it worse is like, okay, you call someone, they don't pick up. Maybe you get a message from them like 20 or 30 minutes later. It's via text like, oh, missed your phone call. I was doing something. Blah, blah. It's like, okay, cool. Understand that? Fine. I can get behind that. I think it's so much worse when you call someone, you miss a call, and you get a text message from them within 30 seconds.
Oh, hey, I saw you called. You're
up.
Literally holding your phone right now, and you didn't answer the phone.
They were holding. They saw the call and just let it go. Yeah. They're like, I can't do this. Like, if you're at work or something, I understand. Like, just hit the end button. Like, I'm at work. This, but when they're like, oh, I saw you call. What's up? They're like,
well, then there's an extension of that, and I don't know if this makes me if this aligns me with the boomers or not, but voicemail etiquette. Mm-hmm. Because pretty much everybody has voicemail that has a phone.
Yes.
And, I am of the opinion, and I try to maintain a hard line about this, which my mother has gotten very upset with me about, that if it's important enough to call me, then it's important enough to leave me a message.
Yes.
So if you call me and there's no message, I assume you butt dialed me, and I don't call back.
Yeah.
But then there are people that I will call, and I will leave a detailed message, and they will call me back without listening to the message. Say, hey, what'd you call about? I just told you.
I left you a voicemail.
So you made me take 30 seconds out of my day to record you a voicemail, and you're not going to listen to it.
But see, that's not even like a hot boomer take. That's just because I always kind of do the boomer take of like, and I hate that I'm saying like the boomer because
boomers aren't all bad, folks.
Not all boomers are bad, but a majority of them are terrible. It's just, and they're like, I'm not terrible. Like, okay, you're saying this from your one of 3 houses when you have also 3 or 4 cars there. Shut the fuck up.
Wealthy boomers, they're all awful.
Yeah.
But, middle class boomers, if middle class is still a thing you can identify
middle class is non-existent. It does not exist anymore. And we'll get back to that in a second. I gotta get back to my boomer take real quick because like my boomer take, like I witnessed.
This is important enough to actually focus on.
Yes, because I want to make sure I get the thought out before I just kind of let it go to the wayside.
Yeah, this is the first time we've tried to have a coherent thought on this show.
We do have coherent thoughts. It's just
we don't share them.
Because we're men, we don't share coherent thoughts and things like that. Fuck that. Men, masculine.
I need chicken wings and beer right now.
And titties. Oh.
Quick, before we get derailed and talking about titties and beer. Too late. He's already lost his train of thought.
Okay, now I'm back on
Get it back.
I'm back. All right, it's something that I actually witnessed tonight when we were actually out. I guess father and son, they were there. Kid was on his iPad, tablet, watching and eating the entire time. But I was like, all right, so the kid wants to be entertained. That's fine. They can do that at home. Why not have a conversation with your son while you're like, have talks with your kid. Be like, hey, what was going on in school today? What you learned? What's life about?
In defense of the dad, I mean, if you ever tried to talk to a kid that doesn't want to talk, especially if he has an iPad, if you are keeping the kid from his iPad, you are the enemy.
I know, I understand that, but this is also times where like, you don't know like how much time you're going to have with your parents and like find out shit about your kid. You just kind of you're like, oh, I want them to be over there being entertained. I don't want to know anything about you.
Well, the broader problem is that we are in a world now where essentially looking around and not staring at your phone is a superpower.
Yeah.
So few people bother to do that it's just, oh, well, I have a few seconds to myself. I just instinctively, follow the phone grab reflex and pull out, Solitaire or Candy Crush or whatever the hell people use to, take their time.
Not a sponsor yet.
We're sponsored by Solitaire.
And Diet RC Cola. Zero sugar RC Cola. Now with more flavor.
And less sadness.
Shut up.
But just being
RC
aware.
Cola's going to sue us so bad.
But we'll be famous because we'll be in the public
Yes!
lawsuit. This is our whole business master plan. We're
gonna just
annoy companies till they sue us
or give us money.
Yeah.
That's sorry. Continue your thought.
Oh, it's long since gone.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad.
I know it was paying attention to your
Yes.
surroundings is like a superpower now. Kind of like being able to cook or in some cases change a tire yourself is like a superpower, and it's not because it's such an amazing skill. It's because so many people have gotten to the point where it's normal not to know how to do that.
Yeah, and that bothers me so much. I was like, okay, the tire changer thing, it's questionable. Like, learning how to change a tire is important. Like, I kind of know how to do it. I haven't done it in a while.
But at the same time, tires in general and automobiles are, better made now. So, it used to be like it's like when our parents were, our age, having a car, if you were taking a long trip, you had, 50 chances of breaking down somewhere on the way.
Correct.
And now you can pretty much rely on a car as long as you keep the maintenance up.
Yes. Now, I want to go back to like something you mentioned, cooking. Because I am a large person. You can see that.
He has a big heart.
I do. And it's actually bad.
He has an enlarged heart.
It has a large heart and it's not pumping correctly. That's why I got...
Remember that whole thing about going to the hospital and not telling anyone?
All right, getting back to it. Now, I was talking to a coworker, and he was having a discussion about, like, not knowing where he wants to eat sometimes for lunch. I was like, oh, why don't you just start, what I do sometimes is meal prep. I was like, I make stuff for the entire week, maybe 2 different meals, put it in the refrigerator, and I have that throughout the week. He's like, oh, man, like, I don't really know how to cook. I was like, you're 30. Like, you've been around for enough time to learn and not be a master chef or anything like that. You don't have to be world class, but know enough to be like, oh, I know how to I can make this lasagna. Yeah. I can follow the instructions to make this lasagna. Or I can, follow the instructions on this box to make this meal. Like, even if, like, the pre-cooked meal things is like, yeah, you're making some food, you're not really cooking. Well, you're still kind of cooking, but...
I mean, a great deal of cooking now is just essentially heating stuff up. I mean,
yes.
you can get, at least partially pre-made stuff or, like you can get meal kits already cut up and measured out for you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, cooking is not so difficult. Baking, that you have to learn the language. And, and it was, if you look at old, like, home recipes, it's maddening because you get stuff like, 1 heaping cup of flour sifted, which is different from a cup of sifted flour.
Ooh.
And then you're dealing with cups and stuff, and so like professional bakers and chefs do everything by weight because that's consistent. Because it doesn't matter if the flour has been sifted before or after you measure it if you're doing it by weight because it's going to be the same amount of flour.
Yeah, so that's when they're like, oh yeah, you'll need 15 kilograms of this. You're like, oh, I don't know how much a kilogram. Oh, well, that's where you get food scale, and that's where you go from there. Yeah, like the baking is a whole world of difference. And I know that, like, that's like a little bit of your world. If you guys didn't know, or we probably didn't mention yet, Daniel makes chocolate.
Once upon a time, I made chocolates, and I'm trying to get back into making chocolates. But
It's
like
not
everything
like
else that I'm trying to do, I have to get over myself.
Yes. But it's not like you lost the skill. You still know how to make chocolate. So, like, him knowing this information of, like, the craft and trying to balance things out, you kind of, like, you understand that realm. But, like I said, like, cooking thing, like, saying, like, I get mad when someone's like, oh, I can't cook. Fuck the fuck off. Get into the kitchen. Learn. Start so fucking
Microwaving
simple.
a hot dog counts as cooking.
Why the fuck are you microwaving a hot dog? Microwave.
Oh, hell no! We got to fight on this.
Oh, well,
because you take a hot dog, you put it in the bun, you wrap it in paper towel. Sometimes you can do 2. So then you put that in the microwave. If it's just 1, you do 45 seconds. If it's 2, you do a whole minute. And then you have where the moisture from the cooking hot dog or heating hot dog steams the bun, so it has a nice, pleasant, fluffy texture. Comes out perfect every time.
Fuck the fuck off.
So you're going to dirty a pan for this?
No.
What, do you just eat them cold?
No. Get a pot, water, boil that fucking hot dog, put it in the bun, eat it.
Pan, pot, yeah, I meant the same thing, but yeah, but waiting for water to boil and then boiling the stuff and then having to get the stuff out with tongs and all that. My way, I would have been eaten and cleaned up before you finished getting the water boiled.
Okay, well, you go ahead and do that, and you're wrong. Have fun.
This is going to be the thing that breaks us, folks.
Yeah.
The hot dog division.
The hot dog debate. The hot
This is
dog.
the first time we've seriously disagreed on anything.
Kind of. The hot dog debate that broke up the friendship.
Damn. I just didn't know you were that kind of person, though.
I didn't know you were that kind of fucking person.
And you mean an efficient person?
Efficiently wrong.
That's a really good way to describe me in a
Yeah.
lot of cases. I'm very efficiently wrong. But not about this.
Yeah. But we'll get back to them. Because we're about you guys. And girls. And whatever you want.
This is going to be our first official poll. Is like, what is the preferred and or most acceptable way to prepare hot dogs? And we're going to piss off all the vegans in one shot.
Well, I'm not sure how many vegans are going to be watching. But if you are out there, you probably ate meat before. And you were like, oh, this is how I make my hot dog.
I'm pretty sure there's no reason why vegans can't have a microwave, so they have to microwave something.
True.
There's got to be something comparable to, a hot dog, which is basically, a quick, already cooked snack that you're just heating
So
up.
most likely, I think it would be a tofu dog. So just like tofu is very like one of those things that just kind of adapts to everything.
Yeah.
From what I've been told, it's like whatever sauce, seasonings, or anything like that, it just adapts to that, and you're like, oh, it's crispy, it's crunchy, or whatever it may be. So
Yeah, I acknowledge the versatility and tastiness of tofu.
yeah, so vegans,
Yeah.
good.
Way to go, guys! You're not, completely crazy on this one. This is genuinely good food.
Yeah, we're not going to talk bad about you entirely.
Oh, we'll talk bad about vegan chocolates, though. That stuff tastes like sadness.
Okay. Yeah, we'll agree with that.
Sorry,
but-
guys.
Well, we're a little sorry, but to make up for that, we talked about it, I think, a couple episodes ago. The vegan mac and cheese that we had.
Which was awesome.
That was still freaking amazing.
Yeah, make your mac and cheese with soy milk or oat milk or one of the alternative milk products because it just comes out thicker and creamier and tastier.
Yeah, I guess they use like a different. Well, I guess they use a different kind of pasta for it, probably. Because most pasta would have egg in it, so they probably had to use a different.
I don't know about that because I don't know pasta. I think pasta at its simplest is literally just flour and water, and you bake the water back out, or you or you dry it that way to harden it.
Well, I thought they also use egg in it too.
I know that there are noodles like egg noodles, but that's like beef stroganoff uses egg noodles, and then there are Asian recipes that there are tons of different kinds of specific different types of noodles in
Noodles
Asian
and pastas.
cuisine.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think most Italian origin pasta I think is just flour and water, but I could be wrong on this.
Yeah. Someone can fact check us.
Do we have any Italians watch it? Any Italian vegans to really double up on the conversation?
Ooh, that's a sentence that no one probably ever said before.
Italian vegans. I mean, for a country whose cuisine has embraced tomatoes as wholeheartedly as Italy, there are bound to be a few. An Italian vegetarian is not outside the realm of possibility. Vegans, might be a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, there's plenty of tasty stuff you can have in Italy without meat.
True. That is very true.
Although cutting yourself off from like mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, though,
It's a sin.
yeah,
that is a crime.
It's at the very least a challenge because if you live in Italy, I mean, you probably have to do some actual work to find food that does not have some kind of cheese product on it.
Yeah. Like just anywhere you walk into, like you're breathing just excess.
If there's two things you know about Italy, they love tomatoes and they love cheese,
Yes. And they love them together.
and they are objectively right about this.
Yeah, they are correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Staying in the realm of food and cooking. I'm
A
gonna
new
get back to
segue,
it.
folks.
No, not even a new segue. Just getting back to the original point of cooking. If you tell me I don't know how to cook, I will slap the shit out of you. I will. I don't care what age you are. I will smack the shit out of you because I want you to learn how to cook. Like I said,
Okay,
what? Okay.
I think you have a neighbor that's 5 years old that doesn't know how to cook. You're gonna slap the shit out of them?
Let's put age requirement on it. Let's just say from the age 20, I say 22 and up.
Now, going back to the younger part of that, there has been some debate over when it is too early to start teaching a child to cook. But
Never too early.
I mean, yeah, you can teach them about certain things like measurements and things like that, like very early on, like as soon as they're able to figure out shapes and stuff.
Yes.
But I think some people will say even 8 years old is a fine age to teach them knife skills and how to be safe chopping things.
Okay, that's. I guess that really kind of depends on like what you want to teach your kids. Like, so how my upbringing was like. My mom liked to really bake a lot, so she made like cakes, pies, things like that. So when she was in the kitchen, I would help. She was like, "Hey, measure me out."
You get to lick the bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the best part of childhood.
That's how all my tongue skills developed. Thanks, Mom. So,
NC-17, here we go.
So she would be like, "Hey, measure me out a cup of flour." So, like, I would do the simple things, but like, measure out a cup of flour.
Now, was it flour sifted or sifted flour?
It was just a cup of flour. Not sifted yet or anything like that. It was just a cup of flour. Because I'm not sure if she wanted it sifted or not. It was just like a cup of flour. Cool. I can do that. Or just small things to help out. Like, hey, go ahead and use a blender, mix this up. Like just small stuff that you can do in the kitchen to learn. Yeah. It's just like small things. Be like, hey, do this or do this. Like, I'm going to teach you how to do this. Like, so if you're telling me that you're like, say, 21, 22, beyond that, and you tell me that you don't know how to just make scrambled eggs, you should be destroyed.
Scrambled eggs are one of those things that can be intimidating at first because you don't know how long to cook it innately, and so do I just let it sit? Like, so what's the difference in an omelet and scrambled eggs? Like, do I just keep poking at it? How hot should I get it? There's a lot of ways you can psych yourself out of it, and this I'm pretty sure is what gets to my older brother when it comes to cooking. He is like basically he has convinced himself that he will like catastrophically screw up anything that he tries to cook. So he can make like beef stew, and so he knows one or two recipes that he's confident in making, and he will just jam through those.
Yeah.
But anything that he has never made before or he thinks is difficult, like fish or some kind of egg dish, he will panic himself to death before he even gets to the kitchen.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. But like, say, the simple thing for like eggs, a dozen of them, unfortunately now is like $6. But try one at a time to like just scramble one egg. Take the one egg, whisk it up, do whatever you need to do to scramble that one egg, and you're like, oh, it's not to my liking. Yeah. I'll put this one to the side. Let me try again.
That's the nature of cooking, and a lot of other skills too. Is that you basically have to just commit to screwing it up a few times before you get it the way you want.
Yeah, because you know what goes hand in hand with cooking? Science.
I was gonna say eating, but yeah, science.
Well, because like cooking and science are essentially the same thing. Because it's really trial and error until you get to a point where you're like, hey, I like the results of this thing. This is where I want this at. Great. This cake is fantastic. Or, this whatever science thing you want to put it here is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Well, and then you get into like molecular gastronomy, which is fantastically weird stuff, where they come up with things like, and I might be getting these ingredients wrong, but I think I read somewhere that someone discovered that like pineapple and oysters like share a common molecule somewhere, and so like no one has ever thought to combine pineapples and oysters, but apparently if you do it, it's okay. And I'm not saying combine pineapples and oysters because I could be remembering these ingredients entirely wrong, but it's two ingredients that are completely removed from each other like pineapples and oysters. So if it is pineapples and oysters, then yay, my memory works. But if it's not, please don't blame me for eating that crap.
Well, blame yourself for doing that. Don't mix pineapple with any. Well, I don't want to say mix it with anything. You know what? Enjoy your pineapple and oysters. But if
you do you.
You do you. But if you do that with coconut, I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
Again with the violence.
Yes, I am very hard set on just like loving pineapple, but disliking coconut. Fuck you, coconut.
But they both come from the same climate.
And so many people came from the U.S. You know who else came from the U.S.? Charles Manson.
That is sound reasoning. I can't argue against that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know who else is from the U.S.? Elizabeth Dushku. Or is it Dushku?
Eliza Dushku, the actress?
Yes. I think she is from the U.S.
I think so too. But
Yeah.
I mean, why would you bring that up as a negative?
It's not a negative. She's awesome.
Yay, Eliza Dushku.
Yeah. But also, Charles Manson's here, so that happened.
So yeah, sorry for bringing you up in the same sentence.
No, that's going
She's never going to come on our podcast now.
Or she's going to come twice to the podcast.
I'm just going to keep staring at you until you get that laugh out of your system.
No,
God, don't ever make that face again.
I'm making it all the time.
Oh, God.
Well, it just shows you a scale of like, yeah, awesome things can come from the same place and awful things can come from the same place. So, yeah.
And by the same place, we mean O.
Yeah, many great things have come out of me. Many bad things have come out of me. So, it's just, it happens. You got to take the good with the bad. That's what makes me likable. Yeah, you can't.
Again, I have no argument here.
Yeah, you can't. I just touch my own fake dimples that do not exist in my beard.
What? They could be under there. You don't know.
No, I know for a fact they don't exist. It's just more fat.
Isn't that what dimples are? Isn't it just like conveniently arranged cheek fat?
It might be. I'm not sure what dimples really are. Are they just...
I think it's just like the way that the muscles and the fat in your face, like just the way it folds when you smile is what a dimple is.
Possibly. So, if that were a true thing now, it should have like 3 dimples then.
Actually, there are other dimples. I used to know the name for this thing, like the 2 dimples in the small of your back, which you can't really see yourself unless you're like craning around in the mirror.
Yeah.
But if you've seen pictures of people not wearing shirts, you see those 2 little spots at the small of the back.
Yes.
They're just like little indentations. I don't know what you call those. Would I think technically be dimples, but they're not the same as the smiling dimples.
Sure.
But I know they have a name, and I've forgotten what it is.
I know what they're called.
I'm going to let you say it, but I can just see the look on your face. This is going to be something that I'm going to regret.
No, they're just like, thumb holders. So when you're there, you're like, oh, okay, ready. This is where I need to be.
It's a cup holder. Oh, God.
Cup holder? You need a cup back there. No.
Gotta stay hydrated, man.
No, you're supposed to hydrate before.
And during. What are you're not committing to the whole duration? You completely selfish lover, you.
Oh, hold on, baby. Let me get this Gatorade.
I need my electrolytes to continue.
I need electrolytes in me so I can get electrolytes in you.
We're going to have to scrap this whole episode.
No, we can just end it right there.
Well, in that case, coming to you once again from O's hot-ass garage, we are the Rubber Duck Syndicate.
Bye,
Bye everybody!